Hey everyone! Today we're diving into a fundamental topic within Spiritism: charity. Have you ever stopped to think about how small acts of kindness can truly change lives? That's right, charity isn't just about material donations. It's a profound act of love and empathy. And no one explained this better than Chico Xavier, one of the greatest figures in Spiritism. Get the idea? More than just helping others, charity is a way for us to elevate ourselves spiritually, to connect with something greater. Today, we'll explore these teachings together, reflect on the impact charity has on our lives, and see how it can be a path for spiritual growth. Before we dive into this deep topic, take a moment to subscribe to the channel. This way, you won't miss out on any content like this. Turn on notifications and let us know in the comments what you hope to learn about charity today. Let's keep this positive energy flowing. Now that we're all tuned in, let's understand why charity is so central to Spiritism, how it transforms our journey, and how it brings us closer to our true spiritual essence. In Spiritism, charity isn't just seen as a simple act of kindness. It runs much deeper. Chico Xavier taught us that charity is, in fact, the foundation of spiritual evolution. But do we all truly understand what that means? Practicing charity goes beyond giving material things like clothes or money. It shows up, most of all, in small gestures, in understanding others, and in genuine compassion. Have you ever thought about how a simple smile can change someone's day? Or how a kind word might be exactly what someone needs to keep going? So often, we underestimate the impact that these small acts can have. Chico showed us that charity should never be a transaction, but rather a spontaneous and selfless gesture. It's this giving without expecting anything in return that purifies our spirit and connects us to something greater. Take a moment to think about it. How many times in life do we come across opportunities to practice charity but let them slip by? Sometimes it's because we're distracted, and other times we think we don't have enough time or resources to help. But Chico reminds us that true charity begins in the heart. It's not about the value of what we give, but the intention behind the act. Have you ever been so wrapped up in your own problems that it feels impossible to think about others? In those moments, practicing charity can actually be the key to lightening the load we carry. By focusing on someone else's well-being, our own worries tend to feel smaller, and our heart opens up to receive new energy. Has this ever happened to you? Have you felt that relief through an act of charity? Charity is also an exercise in humility. When we reach out to help someone without expecting recognition, we're practicing the ability to be less selfish, more mindful of others, and, most importantly, more connected to what truly matters. Chico used to say that the true act of charity happens in the silence of our hearts, when we offer love and forgiveness, even to those who have wronged us. Of course, this isn't easy, but it's part of our growth. So, how about taking a moment to reflect on how you can bring more acts of charity into your life? It could be something simple, like offering a kind word to someone going through a tough time, or even just showing kindness in your everyday interactions. Leave a comment below about how charity has impacted your life and how you plan to apply it moving forward. When we talk about charity, it's impossible not to mention Chico Xavier as a living example. His life was defined by service to others, always in a discreet and humble way. Did you know that Chico donated the royalties from nearly all his books to charitable institutions? He never sought recognition for what he did, and this teaches us a lot about what it means to help with a pure heart. Often, we do something hoping for a thank you, a compliment, or even public recognition, but Chico showed us that true charity is quiet. Have you ever thought about that? How many times do we help someone expecting something in return, even if it's just subconsciously? It's a natural human behavior, but Chico invites us to rise above this need for external validation. And here's the interesting part. When we practice charity in this way, without expecting anything in return, we're the ones who benefit the most. Deep down, by helping others, we're healing ourselves. Chico used to say that charity is an opportunity to cleanse our spirit from grudges and bitterness, feelings we often carry without realizing. Have you ever experienced that? That sense of peace that comes over you after helping someone? Chico embodied this throughout his life. Despite the many challenges he faced, he never stopped serving others. His mediumistic work, his psychographic messages, and even his very presence were a source of comfort and hope for thousands. What was most impressive was his humility. Even with so many published works and countless admirers, Chico never placed himself above anyone. That's something we can all learn from and apply to our daily lives. Now, think about a time when you helped someone without expecting anything in return. What was that experience like for you? Share your reflections in the comments. By sharing these stories, we can inspire others to practice more selfless acts of charity as well. Chico showed us that charity isn't just an external action. It's an internal process of transformation. When we practice love for others, we're also healing ourselves and getting closer to our true essence. That's what Spiritism teaches us. Every small act of kindness is an opportunity for growth, both for the person who receives it and for the one who gives. Reincarnation is one of the core pillars of Spiritism, and it's deeply connected to the concept of charity. Have you ever thought about how your actions today might affect your future incarnations? Sometimes, the challenges we face now might be tied to actions from past lives, and charity offers a path to balance these spiritual debts. Chico Xavier always taught us that charity is a form of spiritual redemption. By practicing kindness, we help heal our own spirit, addressing wounds that we may not even realize are there. Each act of compassion is an opportunity to balance our karma, to learn from past mistakes, and to grow. Have you ever considered how the small gestures you make today might influence not just your present life, but also the future of your soul? Imagine this. When you extend your hand to help someone, you're not only easing that person's burden, but you're also creating a path of light for yourself. It's as if each charitable act is a seed planted in your spiritual journey. The more we practice kindness, the more our soul ascends, preparing for a lighter, more peaceful incarnation in the future. Chico Xavier often spoke about how our actions affect the reincarnation cycle. He said that by helping others, we're in some way adjusting our karma, freeing ourselves from the chains of the past. It's a way of saying that life is a continuous cycle of learning, where every action matters. Have you ever wondered how your actions today might be preparing your spiritual path for the future? What's interesting is that charity connects us to this process of reincarnation in a very conscious way. By doing good, we start to realize that everything around us is interconnected. Our daily choices, the acts of compassion we engage in, have a much greater impact than we can imagine. They resonate not only in this life but also in the lives to come. Take a moment to reflect on this. How have you used charity to balance your energies and prepare for your spiritual future? Share your thoughts in the comments about how the practice of charity might influence your future incarnations. I'd love to hear what you think about this process. In Spiritism, mediumship is a powerful tool to help others, and Chico Xavier was one of the greatest examples of how this gift can be used in service of charity. Throughout his life, he used his ability to communicate with the spiritual realm to offer comfort, guidance, and help to those who were lost or suffering. But have you ever thought about how mediumship only holds real value when it's driven by love and charity? Mediumship by itself isn't an end, it's a means. And when used with the intention of serving others, it becomes a profound act of charity. The medium is simply a channel between the spiritual and material planes, but what fuels this work is love. Without charity and the genuine desire to help, mediumship loses its purpose. Chico taught us this with remarkable clarity. Have you ever felt your spirituality grow when you helped someone? When we use our mediumistic abilities to console, guide, or even offer a kind word, we're connecting with something greater. It's a flow of energy where love and compassion move freely, transforming both the medium and the person receiving the message. Think for a moment. How many times have you had the chance to use your gifts, whether mediumistic or not, to help someone? You don't need to be a medium to practice charity, but those who do have this gift carry an even greater responsibility. And when we fulfill this responsibility with love, we become true agents of spiritual transformation. Chico Xavier showed us that mediumship, when combined with charity, is one of the quickest paths to spiritual evolution. By helping others, the medium is also helping themselves, cleansing their energies and drawing closer to the divine essence. This is something we can all learn from, no matter what our individual gifts may be. If you've ever felt this connection between mediumship and charity, share your experience in the comments. Your story might inspire others to use their gifts for good as well. And if you haven't yet had that experience, take some time to reflect on how you can use your abilities, whether spiritual or material, to help others. When we talk about charity, we often think about the impact it has on others, but Chico Xavier taught us that charity also deeply transforms the one who practices it. Have you ever stopped to think about how your acts of kindness affect your own life? Each time we step forward to help someone, we're actually helping ourselves too. Charity is an exercise in humility, detachment, and unconditional love. These are the very pillars of our spiritual evolution. When we dedicate ourselves to others, whether through big or small gestures, we are planting seeds of transformation in our own spirit. That's because, by practicing charity, we begin to see the world through different eyes. Our daily worries seem smaller, and our connection to the divine grows stronger. Have you experienced this? When we open ourselves up to help others, we often feel a sense of lightness, as if our problems aren't as overwhelming as they once seemed. And that's the magic of charity. It teaches us to look beyond ourselves, to recognize that we are all interconnected, and that by helping someone, we are also helping ourselves. Chico used to say that every act of charity is an opportunity to purify our spirit, clearing away imperfections and bringing us closer to the true purpose of our existence. Now, think about how this applies to your everyday life. How many times have you felt stuck, weighed down by problems that seem unsolvable? Then, suddenly, by helping someone else, you find clarity and strength to face your own challenges. Has this ever happened to you? Charity is a powerful tool for our personal transformation, and Chico was a shining example of how to live this truth. Chico showed us that true spiritual evolution comes through service to others. Every act of kindness, no matter how small, is an opportunity for growth and to become better versions of ourselves. And this process doesn't happen all at once, but gradually, with each small gesture, each smile, each kind word. So, let's take a moment to reflect on how charity has been transforming our lives. Share your experiences in the comments, and let's spread some good energy. Your story might inspire others to seek their own personal transformation through charity as well. Now that we've reflected together on the transformative power of charity, it's clear that it goes far beyond simple acts of giving. Charity is a profound spiritual practice, with the ability to change not only the lives of those who receive it, but especially those who practice it. Chico Xavier left us this valuable lesson. Charity is the fastest path to spiritual evolution, a true bridge between the divine and the human. Through charity, we have the chance to reconnect with our essence, to learn about humility, unconditional love, and detachment. And the most amazing part is that charity doesn't require grand gestures or sacrifices. It can show up in the little things of everyday life. A smile, a kind word, or a listening ear. Each of these gestures has the power to transform lives, even yours. In this video, we've talked about how charity can help us balance our karma, release grudges and resentment, and prepare our soul for future incarnations. We also reflected on how mediumship, when used with love and the intention to serve, can be a profound act of charity. And we've seen how Chico Xavier lived these teachings, becoming a living example of service to others. Now, I invite you to take these teachings into your daily life. How can you apply charity in your life? It could be something simple, like helping a neighbor, or something deeper, like forgiving someone who has hurt you. The important thing is that each gesture is made with your heart, expecting nothing in return. After all, true charity is selfless, and it's in that selflessness that we find our spiritual evolution. Before we wrap up, I want to remind everyone of the importance of sharing these messages of light. Like this video, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe to the channel to keep receiving content that touches the soul and makes us reflect on our spiritual journey. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you'll be alerted whenever we post new videos. And now, I ask you, how has charity impacted your life? Leave your thoughts, your story, or even just a word of encouragement for others in the comments below. Let's keep this flow of good energy and learning going, sharing experiences and growing together spiritually. And always remember, charity begins in the heart. When we help others, we are helping ourselves to evolve and get closer to the divine. Thank you for being here today, and I'll see you in the next video.